So a few years back now, Rode released what is probably one of my favorite pairs of headphones ever, the NTH-100. You've probably seen me use them in pretty much every single video I do. I love them. They're definitely my favorite pair of headphones when it comes to mixing and producing, and they're probably my second favorite pair of headphones of all time after the XM4s from Sony. Now, these puppies have been through thick and thin with me, so I was extremely excited when Rode sent us their brand new sibling, the NTH-50s. Cheaper, smaller, and different in a lot of ways. Could these be a pair of budget kings? Or are they more like a disappointing prequel? Let's find out.
This video is made by Radio.co. To start your free Radio.co trial in seconds, head to Radio.co and click on the pricing page.
So straight out of the box, it's clear that Rode has gone in a very different direction with the NTH-50s in comparison to the 100s. I mean, the design alone is a far cry from the bulky and comfortable look of the 100s. They are much lighter, much more plasticky, and just in general, they just look They look nothing alike. But let's not judge a book by its cover, and we'll get onto the more comfort side of things in a second. But yeah, one of the most drastic differences is that the NTH-50s are on-ear headphones instead of the over-ear headphones of the NTH-100. Now, I've never been a massive fan of this. I much prefer an ear cup to go directly over my ear. I just think it feels better. Usually get better noise isolation, that kind of thing. The NTH-50s actually have a memory foam fabric in their ear cups, and overall, they are pretty comfortable. I'm not sure it's anything like the Alcantara fabric on the NTH-100s, but as fabrics go, it's not too bad. There's a bit of cushioning there between your ears and the actual drivers, so I don't think it's going to hurt our fragile ears too much after long periods of time. Maybe after a couple of hours, you might start to feel a bit of discomfort. So obviously the headband as well has had a pretty substantial redesign. The NTH-100 again uses this Alcantara fabric, and it's mainly in the top sort of section, and you get these sort of locking systems as well, which is pretty cool to lock your sort of head shape in place. The NTH-50s have changed this pretty much altogether. Instead, you're getting a sort of memory foam fabric on the top as well, and this does sort of go around the whole of your head rather than just the top, which is quite nice. But the actual top section is now plastic, and it's got a big Rode logo on the top. I think overall, even though it doesn't go all the way across your head, I think just the NTH-100s just feel more substantial and just feel more premium. The NTH-50s, they're fine. They do the job. Now, there is actually one big positive about the overall design changes here, and that is that Rode claims that the headband, ear cushions, and cables can all be swapped out really easily if something fails. So basically, say that your headband snaps or breaks in an area, you could literally just take everything apart, get a new headband in, and replace it really easily. Now, this and the overall look of the NTH-50s actually reminded me quite a lot of the AI, or III, I'm never entirely sure how you say it, the TMA2 headphones, which look pretty similar and also have the feature that you can just swap things out whenever you need to replace them. This is obviously fantastic for longevity and obviously being eco-conscious as well, because you don't need a new pair of headphones every time something fails, like a wire. Rode also supplies some colored ID rings, which helps identify which headphones go into which headphone port, which is also a nice little addition. Oh, and you do get a case as well, but it's nothing really to write home about. It's fine. So, what about that comfort factor? To be really annoying, it's not great, but it's also not bad. There isn't a huge amount of comfort there at the top. And again, after a couple of hours, you might start to feel a bit of discomfort on your head. They might feel a bit warm. So just something to be aware of. Now, because they are quite plasticky, they are, like I said, a lot lighter. So actually, they might be a bit more comfortable in some ways than the NTH-100s, just because they're lighter on your head. Like I say, I haven't experienced anything awful so far. They are fairly comfortable. I think just generally though, in terms of like how they feel on your head, they're not quite as good as the NTH-100s. I think Rode kind of shot themselves in the foot by producing the NTH-100s first, because in comparison to them, these are always going to feel a bit tight and a bit sort of restrictive on your head. We'll go into the price in a second. These are cheaper and they are much, much lighter. So if that's your kind of deal, and if you like your headphones to be on ear rather than over ear, then these could be a pretty good deal for you. And like I say, they are perfectly comfortable enough for a few hours of mixing and editing here and there. Rode is also advertising these being more for DJs. And if you're DJing, you're probably not going to be doing that for hours and hours and hours upon end. You might just be doing an hour or two here and there, unless you're doing some sort of DJ marathon or something like that. So for this, I'd say they are perfect. But obviously that's all fluff in comparison to the main question here, and that is, how do they sound? Well, pretty good. They have quite a flat profile, and the mids and bass are okay. nothing to write home about, but perfectly usable. In loud scenarios, they are a bit tinny, however, so you are going to want to keep it pretty level overall. But they do have a very consistent sound, which is ideal for mixing and DJing. However, something that is fantastic in the NTH-50s is their passive noise isolation. Something I just didn't expect when getting them out of the box and seeing them for the first time. Especially as they're on-ear headphones, I kind of thought that they would just be a bit meh in terms of noise cancelling. I especially didn't think they'd be better than the NTH-100s, but my god was I wrong. In comparison to the NTH-100s, the noise cancelling is incredible. In fact, these get me really excited to see where Rode are going to go next with their more premium NTH-100s or maybe NTH-200s or whatever, because I think the noise cancelling on them is going to be incredible. So I'll throw the sound stats on the screen now, but the big hit is those 40mm custom drivers with what Rode describes as revolutionary resonant chamber and acoustic design. Rode bloody loved the word revolutionary. If they made toilets, they definitely brag about their new revolutionary flush design. I'll also chuck the stats up for the NTH-100s as well, so you can do a bit of a comparison, but overall the stats are remarkably similar actually. I was quite surprised to see that Rode hasn't really cut down on a lot when it comes to sort of sound quality. In that case, I wonder why the NTH-100s do just have a sort of generally less tinny sound. It might just be the build or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, I would say that the NTH-100s do just have the edge slightly. Okay, finally, price. Now, the NTH-100s are roughly $149.99, but they're regularly on sale, so yeah, they might be cheaper, and I'd say they are very much worth this price tag. They really are up there with the likes of the Beyerdynamics in terms of comfort as well. So yeah, I'd say as a package, you can't go wrong with these. The NTH-50s, on the other hand, are $99, which is $50 less, which I was actually quite surprised about because personally, I think this is maybe a little high. I originally, when I was first testing them, put them in the sort of $70 mark, but with the state of the world and tariffs and all sorts, this might just be me being a bit out of the loop, as tech is going up in a big way. No names mentioned there. But yeah, this is still obviously a much cheaper package than the NTH-100s, so if you do have a budget of about $99, then this could be ideal for you. So, are they worth it? Well, once again, I'm going to be really annoying and say yes and no. It very much depends on who you are. And basically that means is if you like over-ear headphones, these aren't for you. They're just not going to cut it for you. The comfort levels alone are just going to turn you off immediately. But if you do like over-ear headphones and you're looking for something that could potentially last you, well, forever, then these are perfect, as they sound pretty good, they're light and nimble, and you've got that Rode quality that they've become renowned for. But if you do have a little extra cash and you do like over-ear headphones, then I just go straight to the NTH-100s personally. In my opinion, they sound better and they just feel like a much better quality product. But I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below. If you are about to pick up one of these, please tell us which one you have decided to go for. And if you already have the NTH-100s, let us know if you feel like maybe I'll pick up the NTH-50s as well. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click like, hit subscribe and ring the bell. And let us know if you'd like to see more comparisons down in the comments as well. Until next time, thank you very much for watching and happy broadcasting.
Launching a brand new radio station can sound daunting, and maintaining a current one even more so. Well, fear no longer, as the Radio.co team are here to offer personal training on how you can effectively and successfully broadcast, regardless what stage you find yourself at. From discussing marketing strategies and funding, to pitching a brand new podcast and planning for the future, our Radio.co Audio University is your opportunity to learn exactly what you need to take your audio project to the next level, from as little as $69. Interested? Then head to radio.co/training to find out more on the modules we're currently offering, or alternatively, send us an email via training@radio.co. Radio.co Audio University. Let's simplify broadcasting together.